Hey guys, what's going on? Stefan Cyrus, Best Reports. Great to see you guys here. So guys, let's talk. As most of you know by now, Charlotte has lost the NBA All-Star game. Now it's going to be moved to either Indiana or New Orleans, but New Orleans is the heavy favorite right now. And I believe they had the All-Star game in 2008. Somebody can go back and quote me, but I believe it wasn't too long ago that they actually had an NBA All-Star game. Now, why is this happening? If most of you don't know by now, earlier this year, New Orleans passed a bill which basically is seen as a hate bill towards transgender people. Now, this bill specifically, what a lot of people are angry about is the restrooms in public. If you identify a certain way, so let's just say you are a transgender male. If it says on your birth certificate that you are a female, by law, you have to go to the female's bathroom. Same thing goes for if you identify as a woman, but on the birth certificate, it says you are a male, you have to go to the male washroom. Now, obviously, I can't relate to these people because I'm straight, but this is really messed up, and you can't do this to a certain group of people because it is a hate bill, because it is specifically going after a group of people, kind of like what the Jim Crow law was. And I won't get into that because, again, I'm not from the United States, so I didn't really have to go through that, and I'm really young, so obviously I never went through it personally myself, but it's kind of like that, where you're grouping a certain set of people and you're making a law to make a certain group uncomfortable. Now, ever since this bill has been passed, let me show you the list because a lot of stuff have went down. So I'm not going to look at the camera, but I'm reading off BBC News. So PayPal has dropped operation centers in in North Carolina. Now, that could have potentially employed 400 people, so 400 jobs lost. Same thing with a bank that wanted to do business in North Carolina. 250 jobs have been lost. So already, 650 jobs lost just because of this bill. Now, a rock singer, Bryce Springsteen, I don't really listen to rock, but maybe you guys do. He's canceled his concert in North Carolina. A TV production that was going to be with Hulu. They were going to do productions in North Carolina. They went up and moved to Vancouver, Canada, or British Columbia. It was either one of those two, and certain investors have pulled out of doing stuff in North Carolina. So those are stuff that has happened since this bill has been passed. So, this is very controversial because North Carolina is going to lose a lot of money. The NBA All-Star game this year was in Toronto, and I can tell you, Toronto made a whole bunch of money. Okay, I was down there during All-Star week, and there was so many people buying so much merchandise, not only from the NBA, but from things around the Air Canada Centre. Obviously, a whole bunch of tourists that didn't know anything about Toronto buying stuff. So, economically wise, they lost a lot. Okay, so obviously this is horrible for North Carolina, but the NBA does stand for the people. And at first, the NBA said we're not gonna move it. Now, this was a few days after they had passed the bill in North Carolina. Adam Silver did come out and say that, you know what, we're not going to move it. But he's changed his mind. The NBA has changed its mind and is going to be moved most likely to New Orleans. So guys, I know this video is kind of everywhere. I really wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. So if anything, I will structure this video a lot better in a podcast. I'll actually have pictures and stuff like that to help you understand this more. I just wanted to get this out there as soon as possible. And guys, let me know in the comment section below. Do you think this was right by the NBA? They did go back on their word saying that they weren't going to move it at first. But obviously the NBA is trying to save face and standing with transgender people. So in that way, I actually do respect the NBA for moving it. And obviously anybody that tries to pass a bill that kind of makes one specific group, very uncomfortable, it's very, very tough. And obviously the NBA stands with transgender people, which is awesome. So guys, I thought this was the right move. Did you think this was the right move? Put it in the comment section below, share it with your friends, and guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.